Hi guys, welcome back to another Daily Tarot card. These are your Daily Tarot cards for Wednesday, April the 12th, 2023. Today we are pulling from the Rider-Waite Tarot cards. We're starting off with the Four of Cups. I feel like this is to deal with finances. I feel like this is causing you some stress with the Ten of Wands. And I feel like this is like we're trying to make up a plan A, B, or C. How could we get ahead of this? How could we do things? They were showing like changing our spending habits, but this is coming to an end. You will be a victor wearing the wreath. For some of us, it won't be an end, but I feel like better times are coming for financial wise. We get positive confirmation with the Six of Wands. We also get positive confirmation with the Page of Pentacles, Four of Cups as well, because there is an offering coming in from the universe. The King of Cups, the King of Pentacles could represent someone coming into your life that will help you out financially, or you are a King of Cup where you make sure and you take care of your household, you take care of your the finances, you pay the bills, you always make sure that everyone enjoys the spoils, is what they're saying. But it does feel like the Ten of Wands. It feels tedious. I feel like this is where universe is like, kind of calling to our attention. It's like how we change our relationship with money. It ebbs and flows. And that's one thing we have to understand. Me and my mom were talking about, we went shopping and she had to buy her vitamins. She was running low on some. And I said, I know it's the same way with me when I buy we use the same powder collagen. I actually, I'm not going to take credit for that. My friend Zane actually told me about it. I was taking powder collagen already in capsules, but he said this one is specific for joint pain because we were sitting for a long time. I tried standing up at work, but when you're someone like myself that doesn't sit for very long and in perpetual motion, you get exhausted by the time, I work night shift, so I'm usually tired by the time I start work. So when I'm sitting, it's not a huge deal, but I feel like, I was telling her, I was like, yeah, it happens. I'm like, but you're going to be good for like another 6 weeks. When I notice my powder is getting low, I'm like, okay, for a refill. A couple of cards that came on the side. I feel like change and transformation is happening with your money. One thing we forget about with the Death card is that it leads to the sun. If we focus on this card, it definitely does look like the moon card that we get in the traditional tarot. I'm thinking of Astrology Answers because that was one of my kind of first traditional tarot decks. But it leads to the sun. So maybe by the full moon, you will sit there and get some sort of relief here. Definitely in Canada. And I've been noticing a lot with when I close like certain apps, you get like the news feed. So MSN, they'll sit there and they'll do a lot of news feeds. A lot of the things that they're doing in the UK, they're bringing over here. Obviously, we're under the British monarch. But the thing is like triple taxing us on things. And it's like, how is anyone be sustained on that? Oh, we'll give you $123, to help you out with your grocery woes. Not everybody got that. And $123 is not even half of what a family would spend in a week when you think of produce. We're in Passover. And I went and bought eggplants. I bought plums. And I know people are going to be like, well, those things are not in season. That's why you probably paid more. I understand that. But when you're doing pizza and you're only allowed to eat certain things, you are, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to just be eating air, You want to eat, some, eggplant and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we bought some produce. And it was what I paid for was more than I would spend in a week when I go there. I couldn't believe it. Because I usually buy like the mixed salads and then we add protein to that and we eat that most of the time. But the thing is, it's like I grabbed eggplant, I grabbed plums, I grabbed because I knew I was going to be hungry. So I'm like, at least I can snack on that. And, I'm keeping Passover. But it's just like, they're like, oh, here's $126. And it's like, I find it expensive. And I work 2 jobs. Imagine someone that is in circumstances where they're not able to work at this time, or they're restarting their life and they're on the fixed supplements. And it's like, how are they going to make it? Rent is getting higher. Hydro is getting higher. I know for some people that is covered by those things, but it's like still, like, if you have young ones and they're in diapers and stuff, it's like that stuff's only getting all that more expensive. Like, oops, I didn't notice it was out of focus. Sorry, guys. But we're trying to look at the positive here, you know? We're changing our perspective when it comes to finances. This was actually in this, sorry. We're changing our perspective when it comes to money. And that's why I'm saying, understand it ebbs and flows. You know, another situation was the boys are due for their eye exams. Took them in. Insurance, thank God, covers the eye exam. I don't go to the optical that he works with because they charge $700 and some odd dollars for a pair of glasses. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but that is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? And they're not even they're not even like that great of a pair, you know? So I was just like, okay, I'm going to take it to where I usually go. And it was a fraction, 1/3 of the cost of what it charged going through them. No offense to them. I understand they're making it themselves, but you know, it's hard times and, people can't afford that, I was just like, wow, that's, kind of crazy, but to each their own. They're losing business that way. But, I sat there and I had to get both boys' prescriptions refilled. But they were minor. They were like, you could keep their glasses if you want for another year. And I'm like, no, I want if I can help their vision be better, I'm going to help their vision be better. Cause their vision is improving. They just did some tweaking from last time. So I'm like, their eyes are still developing and everything. So let's just refill the prescription. So I was very lucky that where I go had a sale going on. So the 1/3 covered 3 pairs of glasses. The third one I made a boo-boo with my mom's prescription. So I'm like, I want to rectify the situation because it was my mistake and that's not fair to her. So I sat there and got a real cute pair of glasses. So I'm just like, you know what I mean? I was very thankful. I actually, fell to my knees to the Lord because it's just like, I asked my brothers to help me out last time. And I'm just very thankful that, this time, did all the proper things that I was supposed to, that we talked about. And I was just like, we were really blessed that way. When I saw what the sale price was, I was just like, oh, that's fantastic. Okay. I can afford to get, my other son a pair of glasses because I was going to do one this month, one next month. And then, I was like, I'll fix that mistake later. But, it worked out. And I was just like, let's fix it now. It's what I would have paid for one pair of glasses. It's temporary pain, but long-term gain. Their prescription's already on its way. It's already being shipped. So it's just like, you know what I mean? That's where it's just like, don't let temporary situations define what everything is going to look like. So I sat there and it's like, we could have went and had takeout food. I'm like, no. I'm like, it's expensive. We'll go home and eat. You know what I mean? I'm not punishing them because I'm doing Passover. I'm just like, it's a lot of money. I just paid for glasses. Like, a coffee here and there is fine, but I'm not going to sit there and spend, $56 on, Subway for all of us when it's like, we can go home and eat. There's food at home. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, no. So it's like, one thing I indulge in, and I'm quite transparent about that, is Bath and Body Works hand soaps. They're so delicious. I love tropical smells. I love mangoes. I love pineapples and all that good stuff. White tea and sage is absolutely one of my favorites. They have a citrus. Oh my gosh, what is it called? There's a citrus one that I got recently that was really delicious. Oh, not recently. I had it in my stash. But a sale came on for over Easter weekend and I'm like, nope. Now is not the time to indulge. So it's learning, you know what I mean? It's like putting money away in your savings, sitting there and, because things come out of the blue all the time. I was running out of matzah and I'm like, let me buy another box. And now it's just like, I still have some, but it's like, I'd rather have more than not have any, but it's just like, certain things it's like, you can't help but, buy. But, at least I know now for next year to order 2 boxes of matzah. But, it's just like certain things come into life we can't help, like our children's prescription. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, the place I go through doesn't use our insurance that we have, but it's okay. You know what I mean? The cost was way better than I could have imagined. That was truly a blessing. That was truly, something I did not expect at all. I was just, sitting there doing devotion, and then I saw the thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that tomorrow morning. And I got up and I'm like, okay, let's take care of this. I ordered one and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, I'll order the other one. See what happens with his, because you never know. Prescriptions are different. So ordered his. It was $10 cheaper. I was like, all right, you know, let's do this one. That one was $20 cheaper. So it's like, wow, you know what I mean? So it was like, it really did help. We really did save. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, don't let temporary situations set you back. Yes, there are times like, as females, we got to sit there and replenish those monthly things, vitamins, in the household with toothpaste, shampoo. There's times when our bills are a little bit more, but it's like, you know what? Now I won't have to buy it for a bit. With your kids, get them with a healthy relationship with money. Put away a little bit every single paycheck. I sit there, it's like, $5 for each of them. It's like, when I do, get a little bit better, our ratings are really good, I'll put a little bit more money in their saving account. That way they're off on a good foot. You know what I mean? It's like, they don't touch that. They have their man money, what they can do with, and then that does not get touched. I used to let them use their accounts, and then it's like always at zero. I'm like, no. Here's your money in cash. If you want to spend it online, give me the cash, and then I'll let you use my debit card or my credit card. But no, we're not going to sit there and dap into that. It's just changing things. But I love the fact with this situation, they're showing that finances are improving. This hardship will end. You know what I mean? It's just, we got to change the perspective. Half the time, it's just a temporary pain. You know what I mean? Sometimes it sucks when we get a budget and cut back, especially when we can't eat the num-nums that we want or indulge in the things that we love. It's okay, though. There will be other sales. And I always tell myself that. I wanted to indulge in some cream. And it's a beautiful bottle, but I'm not paying for the bottle. I'm paying for the product. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, you know what? It's like, as much as I would love to do that, this is not the time to indulge. And I found similar, I'm sure it's a different formula because theirs looks thicker, but I bought something similar that's hydrating, and it was half the cost. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm not buying it for the bottle. Yes, it's aesthetically beautiful. You know what I mean? But when, I have some extra money and I'm sure they'll have a sale with it, I'll sit there and indulge that. Right now is not the time. So it's just like, sometimes we can and sometimes we can't. Even me and my girlfriend talked about this. She felt like garbage because, her daughter came to her and she wanted to go shopping with her girlfriends, go to the mall. And she was crying, because she's like, they get their parents' debit card and they can spend and do what they want. And I'm like, I understand that. But, not everybody's in the same situations. And it's like, we got to pay those bills. And I told my kids that too. I'm like, I just paid the rent. I just paid the alarm company. I just paid house insurance, all that good stuff. And I'm like, it's, we're just, till this week, I'm like, we're just going to have to, deal with what we have in the house. And there's plenty of food to eat. So, by the grace of God, it's like, we weren't always in this situation. So it's just like, just realizing. And they, they're getting bigger. They understand that. And that's exactly what I tell them. They complain they can't have something. I'm like, do you want electricity? You enjoy your YouTubes, you enjoy video games, you enjoy filming and all this good stuff. You enjoy heat. Well, unfortunately, we got to pay that bill. So if we don't pay that bill, you can't enjoy none of that. So let's just pay the bill, suck it up for a week, and we'll get there. Like, it teaches them, as they grow up, you're not going to be able to always indulge in the things that you want. But I love the fact that the card spread, especially like, like we were saying, like, you may be trying to come up with plan A, B, and C, and universe sees that, you're putting money away, you're paying your bills, you're being responsible. Adulting, we hate it, but it's what we have to do. But the thing is, something is coming in, and this is not a sign to sit there and go spend. It's like, change your perspective with your money. Sit there, keep saving. When you want to buy treats, wait for a sale, or, this is not the time. Let's, put it aside. Yeah, sometimes we do miss out on things. I've definitely been in that boat. Next week I come to Walmart, I'll buy that. It's all sold out. It's like, never saw it again. I'm like, oh, I could kick myself, but unfortunately that's what happens, So it's like, it feels burdensome. It does, especially when you're getting triple tax. You get this new tax, it's like an extra dollar on this, an extra this, an extra that. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Even before midnight, that April Fool's Day, how fitting, because they think we're all fools. Our fearless leader there. It's like, before that happened, Hydro's like, here's an additional $10 we're adding on each month just because we say so. It's like, Okay, well, it's a necessity. We need electricity. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's where it feels burdensome. But it's like, you know what I mean? You are driven. The King of Pentacles, it doesn't matter the fact it's a king. It's just like, you know what I mean? You are the provider. You know what I mean? And you make sure that everything gets taken care of. I love the fact that there's the Taurus, the bull on his throne. And a gentleman that I follow, he actually was talking about Taurus energy. So I find that pretty fitting. But it's just like you will be victor in this situation. Follow your intuition. And that's why I was talking about giving these scenarios. I know the glasses cost this much this time last year. Unfortunately, my son missed the step, and when he fell, his glasses fell. I don't know if he fell on them or they just hit the ground and broke. But they broke into like 3 pieces. I'm like, oh, that's fabulous. I just paid how much for those? You know what I mean? So I'm just like, all right. So, I went to where I go to, bing, bada, boom. And it's like what I paid for that one pair, I got 3. So I was very lucky and blessed the time that it just so happened. It all just fell into place that way. And it's just like, don't ever overlook those signs and those symbols. It's like they know that, financially, it's, like I told the kids, I said, I'll buy his this week and I get paid in 2 weeks. Again, I'll sit there and I'll buy the other ones. You know what I mean? But it's just like, it just worked out this way. And it's like, don't ignore those synchronicities. Be thankful. Be grateful for those blessings. Like Sherry Shepherd had graciously reminded me, when you're going through it, it's like, don't forget what you should be grateful for. I always sit there, every day in every way, even if it's a minuscule, my life continues to get better and better. Be grateful. I always, anytime I see the sunrise, I'm like, thank you, Lord, for another blessed day. Thank you for keeping us safe. Thank you for keeping us united as a family. Because unfortunately, if you've been following us for a while, you know that we had a tragedy in our family, and sadly, Shane transformed. So it's just like, when you go through those things, it's like I was always grateful and protective of my family, but you are that much more hypersensitive to it once you go through a journey like that. It's been 6 years, but I'm still hypersensitive to it. My kids are the same way, when you go through such a tragedy, so it's just like, being more aware of what you have when beautiful things like, I need to buy, glasses for the children, and look, there's a sale, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's fabulous. It all just lined up beautifully, and I'm just incredibly grateful for that. So it's like, always try to sit there and see those synchronicities, see those miracles. I know people will try to sit there, oh, technically this and technically that, but if you want to see magic in this world, you will see the magic in this world. If you want to be a stickler and be like this and that and facts and science and blah blah blah, you will miss all of it. You will be, and that's fine. If that's how your logic is, that's totally fine. But don't dismiss people's things, beliefs, or the way they live life because they see it in a more whimsical way. It's not a fantasy. It's just being thankful that, at this time, I so happened to got an appointment, because we have to book like 6 weeks in advance because of where we live. Unfortunately, the guy at Walmart left. So it's like, that we got the test done. This sale so happened to happen. I was just doing devotion like I always do every single night. And it's like, here's a sale. Book it tomorrow. So I was just like, all right, because I don't want to do it in a half asleep, I'll screw up. So I woke up, did it, and it all worked out, So it's just like, I'm very incredibly grateful for that, So I feel like it's just like, if you're going through it financially, something is coming. We have to change our patterns. Are we eating out maybe twice a week? Okay, let's take it down to once a week. Maybe let's do it every 2 weeks, Me, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to get that stuff. Yeah, I usually don't eat before I go shopping. That's my biggest mistake. But it's like, I don't need to get that. I'll maybe get a fry or something like that. Or maybe get like a coffee and that leave it at that. I don't need to get it. My kids, that's fine. They're young, but me, I don't need to get it. I don't need to partake, So it's like, how can we change things? Instead of buying that, save that money and buy myself Bath and Body Works soap. Wait for a sale and save it. You know what I mean? Work overtime or something. But it's just like, there's little things that we can do to change things. So life is meant to be enjoyed. I totally understand that. But, if we want to live comfortably and not take away some of the stress, that's why I feel like the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, where it feels that, oh my gosh, another thing, And it's just like, especially after the past 5 weeks we had, it's just like one thing after another. It's like, give me a break, It's just try to see the positive in everything. It's getting warmer out. The snow is melting. It's almost there, not where we want it, but it's like, we can hang outside more. We can, you know what I mean? It's like you're not running inside after you shovel the snow because it's so cold, So we're getting to that transition. Things are changing, Try to change your habits a bit. Try to save a little bit more. So when unexpected things happen like this, like me, I know snow removal happens every single year. I know in the winter, hydro bill's higher. So sit there and save for that. So that way it's not so overwhelming, Just little things that we can do so that way life is not so pressured when, that time comes. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Wednesday, April the 12th, 2023. May the universe bless you good. Thank you to all the new subscribers. It truly means a lot. I've worked so very hard. You don't get to 1,800 videos by not working hard. And I appreciate every single one of you, honestly. Hopefully I can get back to lives. It's just, my life is so busy and I'm grateful for that, I'll try and get some time in there. It's just the way that Shabbat and everything falls. It just works that way. But I will try to get a live in there. I would have to ask you guys when you're available, not just pop on, which I usually end up doing. Just, hey, I'm here. Let's do a live. Let's ask some questions. But, we'll see how it works. So may the universe bless you good. I am closed for the closing prayers for Passover. Please keep that in mind. If you are booking a reading, we have someone in the family moving, so it's, a little bit sparse right now. But, May is different, and May will open right up. But right now I have a family member moving at the end of the month, so I've just been helping them out a lot as well. So if I can't get to you right away, that's all it is. And if you want to book a reading, I'll just directly message me and we'll work something out. So we'll see you guys for the next one.